All right, welcome to session or part 2 of session 12. So we are going to look at the footing and slab plan, basically footing plan, and we'll just go back to the learn site here and just move down a bit. Where are we? Electrical plan, legend. Oh, the electrical plan already shows the footing plan in it anyway, so this is what we've got to achieve. All right, so some notes, just very basic stuff, just to get the general gist of it. The more of it is formatting it to look like it should. So now, oops, back here. Where is there anything on the footing plan? I don't think there's anything in here separate for that. So part of this together. But there is in the student guide, assessment guide, wherever it is, where we've got that student portfolio. Here you go. So this one here. So we'll just open that up. And now those of you that have submitted and have your work marked, I have re-uploaded that with basically the same notes I've put in as a feedback on your Learn site. I've just put them at the first column of task 1 and 2, just a general note, so you got it in there as well. So it's not too different, but the requirement is to put in there as well, so I did, and I send it back. So next time send that one back to me, unless we have an update between now and then. You can send the updated one, it doesn't really matter. All right, so let's go down to what else I was going to do here. Yeah, just note we're going to create a new footing plan, and I'm going to mention that footing plan footing layer. That footing layer is supposed to be red in color, and just our guide here for now, using the ABS guide, is that red was intended to be 0.18 thick, so we are going to also give it a line weight of that. Now 36, page 36, I think we're at, roughly.
I've lost my quick screen.
Your quick screen.
The top and bottom.
Oh, excuse me, there's an emergency, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Disaster averted. All right, so now I'll talk to you about the disaster in a minute, but for now we are down here, the footing plan. Now, the disaster was this. That was page 35 in the learning guide. So if we go back to AutoCAD, the problem was that this is a button here, clean screen was pressed. I've actually got that on there for that purpose, so I don't actually click it, but there's one called clean screen, which I mentioned you should not turn on, so you don't actually, you're not able to go into it. But if you do have clean screen on, this can happen. This one here, it looks like that. So it's basically full screen. Well, this one was also messed up for you, but yeah, but you can click it again, and it's Control O apparently, or 0, I think. So you can get it with Control 0 regardless. So there you go. That toggles it on and off. But anyway, I'll just do that. Yeah, Control O. Yeah, there you go. Control 0, sorry, not O. And Control 0 again will bring it back. Now I've just learned something. That's great. Thank you. All right, so I'll see if I can teach you guys something now. Okay, so where were we? So let's go to there. All right, so this task is using a raft slab foundation, foundation system, where the footings and slab are poured at the same time. Raft slab system acts as one together with the footing system. So it's a slab and the footings all together, one monolith. So it provides a stable foundation on which to erect the residential building on. Now there's a few technical terms in there, footings and foundations being used all over the place there. Okay, so it is something that is a little hard to get your head around, basically the footings sit on a foundation base, which is basically your earth. But then the footings themselves become a foundation for the walls to sit on. So it's a bit technical. It doesn't matter. It's basically the footings are the concrete bit, and the foundation is what they're sitting in. So that's what we're doing. Okay, so let's have a look at that. So it's just one type of system of footing system. So we've got initial drawing setup. Okay, next to the electrical plan, we will now create the footing plan, which basically we know that. Create a viewport from scratch or by copying one. We already got one there, so we don't have to do one from scratch in theory. It's halfway being correct anyway. So we're going to create a layer called footings, and we're going to give it a red color. All right, a red color with -2 line type. Now, we're also going to give it a 0.18, thank you, yes, 0.18 pen thickness or line weight, which is not mentioned in the learning guide. Okay, so we're going to add that in. So it's page 36 on the bottom. That should be 0.18 millimeter line weight, for example. All right. So that's additional bit to add in there. All right. So let's create this layer called footings. I'll just copy that from there. All right. So we're just going to go here, and I'm just going to create a layer called footings. Doesn't matter which space I'm in to create the layer. It's not a problem. So go back to home. We are. Oops. Now, when you're creating the layer, I recommend that you highly recommend that you use this button here, the second one, which is new layer with the being frozen in all viewports. All right. Okay, so that way we're not getting the footings appearing on our first sheet, both viewports, and we have to go back to turn them off. So let's do that. Click that. Where is it? There it is. Footings. Perfect. It's already red, which is good for me. If yours is not red, make it red. I am getting 2 columns of each now, being that I am in paper space and I'm creating this layer. So when you are in that situation, just change the first column. So if I was to, for example, if I was to change that to that color, let's see what happens. They both change, all right? But if I change the second column, that one won't change. So if I, for example, only change that one to that purple one, I don't think that will change. See, the other one doesn't change. So this one here controls both. The first column controls both in the line type, the line weight, and everything, okay? I'll undo that. Okay, so let me just redo that there. Control V. All right, so the color I'll leave how it is. Mine is great. We've got to be hit. What is it?
You just
-2.
add layer. Sorry, load.
Yeah. So you click the first one, load, because we don't have a -2, which is what we're looking for. -2. This one here. Okay, so this one we need to load in. So we click the load command. We go down and find -2. There's a few little dashes there, but -2 is what we want. This one here, not -x2 and not dashed. You're allowed to load all 3 in if you want at the same time, and then you can choose. That's fine as well. They will just come in here, but you still have to pick the one you want. And that's the only time it actually sets it. See, they're actually being put in there now.
-2 by 2 or 2?
No, just 2, no by 2. I did bring them all in just in case I need them, but I only selected -2 as the one that I'm going to set. And mine is 0.18 already, so I'm happy with that. All right. And we're going to make this current apparently, but we can just do it anytime. Close that. All right. So we've got to work in the, well, first of all, we've got to fix up the viewport and that. So what I suggest is we delete all the text from on here. We don't need any of the text. So I'll just highlight that, delete that. And this one here it will become a footing plan or something. Footing plan. All right, so we're over here. So footing plan like that, and we're going to add a couple notes, some dimensions in here, which is fine. Okay, great. Next thing to do is to formulate it or set it so it looks a bit like this, minus the footings. So basically all that there is there, and it does suggest some things here, but I think they're a little out of date again. Okay, so the footing, it says what size it should be, but which is basically 350 millimeters wide. Make sure that your footings don't span more than about 4 meters. Is the average sort of standard footing spacing between each footing. But where did I note when to? It says here to assign a true color to these layers here, but that's not right. We actually don't even need those layers, wall brick and wall. I mean, you can assign it, but it doesn't matter because really we're only going to use the shade one. It's something that we started using more like this semester, so this is a bit out of date. Yeah. So what's the question? Well, it's already in, isn't it? Haven't you? Isn't it already there? See, mine is already there because we just. Well, shade should be already in there though. Yeah, it's already on. It's just a matter of going into the viewport now and just switching some things off, and they are the roof bits. Basically, you're right, roof bits. Yeah, and we have to turn on the veranda. So the veranda, it says the veranda is on. In my case, I'll just check what layer it's on. I got it on a floor outline. Who knows what I've done? Let's have a look. So let's go to roof. Okay, roof, underpillars off, roof strutting off, roof rafters, roof plan, and wall shade should be on. The rest of the walls are off. Wall shade is on for me. So far I'm happy. All I've got to do is find my veranda, and I'll just double check over here what layer I put it in. I put it on the floor outline. That's me. Yours is on veranda, whatever. Yeah, it should be on veranda. I don't know why didn't we? Let's just put it on veranda, eh? That should be on veranda. I don't know maybe I'll stuff something else up. But, if I put it on veranda, I just got to double check that it still is on here. It's on here. What about over here? Oop, not that one. This one. This one here still shows up. We're happy. All right. So now I can go back to. So it shows up in here now, but I suppose it doesn't matter that it's in here. Should be alright. You can always turn it off, but that should be alright. I think it makes sense. Alright, let's go here. And there's veranda on. Good. Excellent. Alright, fantastic. So really, a couple of layers on in here. I can't imagine there's any more layers really turned on in here. We're going to that viewport. Maybe a couple others, but there's certainly no information showing through. I've got elevations, which obviously we don't have elevations. Depth points, construction lines, concrete. We've got concrete. Yeah, all right. Anyway, we're going to use the footings. So I'm going to double click on here and get out of that. Now I'm going to double click on the actual outline to go into the viewport like this. And hopefully I'll draw some footings on here. Okay, so we're back on. All right, so what we've got here is a shade, but also with this one here, if you remember, we traced around the wall and then we offset it at 240. So there is also a polyline around this, external wall, which is fine to just keep there. It's fine. All right. We might actually use it a bit later to do something with that. So just keep it there for now. All right, so let's go and draw these things in. Just a matter of setting your layer and just getting stuck into it, I suppose. Footings. We don't begin, we never finish, eh? So how are we going to do this? Just look at this. The first thing you do is look at ways of doing this thing as quickly as possible, the minimum effort, right? That's your whole aim in CAD drafting. All right, so basically we do have an outline that goes around here. We also so happened we do have an outline that goes around there. It's on the wrong layer, but that's fine. And then we've got this other footing here. So I can see I can construct the outside very quickly, like I did with the wall shade sort of thing. So let's do the outline one first, the outside one. So what I'm going to do is copy this external, if you've still got it there, otherwise you have to trace it around. I'm going to copy this into the footing layer. All right. So how am I going to do that? How do I copy something into the footing layer? Does anyone know? Copy the what?
Copy the layer, change the layer base.
Well, the first bit I've got copy and then change to layer, yes.
And then
Paste, you said. No.
copy, change the layer.
And that's it. We stop there.
Yeah,
Yeah, copy means change it to the right layer, basically, yeah. So that's correct. So there's no such thing as copy it into a layer. It's not like offset and you can offset it into a current layer. There's no command like that. So let's go copy. I'll copy it from this corner here. So I'm going to turn on my object snap. I want it exactly from this corner here, all right, to this corner here. Same one. Another way of doing that is to copy it from that corner and then instead of clicking again on top of that and risking perhaps clicking on something that's about a millimeter away, in case there's something there, the better way of doing it will be to use the shift key and @ for the second position, which means it's exactly from where I copied it before, pasted at the same spot basically. So I did that @ which I don't know where it went. I'm just going to go enter. In theory, I should have 2 lines there at this point. How do I know I've got 2 lines? Well, I don't know at this point. If I use my selection cycling on button and click here, it doesn't look like I've got 2 lines there. I don't know what happened because something went wrong. Another way of checking is to use the erase command. E for erase, and then do a crossing window just there. And it says it's picked up 2 things. So obviously it's picked up the polyline and the hatch. So mine didn't work. Try that again. All right, so we're going to pick up the polyline, and we're going to go CO for copy, and we'll copy it from here to shift @ and enter. Did that work? Yeah, it did, and enter to finish because copy. So if I go now, copy repeats. There's 3 things there, 1 or 2 being polyline. So one of them, I mean, they're both the same. Just pick one of them and change that one into the footings layer. Perfect. Now, remember what we said. When we created a layer, it automatically goes frozen. So you won't see it until you thaw it in that viewport. So let's thaw it if you haven't done so already. And now it ensures that it only shows up in this viewport and no other viewport. There you go. That's it there. Beautiful. Now we just have to offset that. So highlight this one, the red one, and the red one there, and we'll go offset 350, enter, to the inside there. Done. All right. And furthermore, we're going to possibly explode it if we need to. Let's have a look where we're going here. We need to explode it eventually, maybe not. No, we don't really yet have to explode it. We can just leave it like that for now, maybe. Maybe not, because we have to offset. Sometimes we have to offset. Let's see. We'll keep it as a polyline for as long as we can. All right. If we have to offset, we'll explode it then. Okay. So I'm looking here, for example. Oh, look at that dimension. How did that end up? Well, that's 3590 apparently, and that's 4040. Why didn't we put that in the middle? Maybe we just that's where the engineer said it should go. Who knows? This is in the middle here, so that's fine. So we need to draw one that goes down here. So 350. So we're going to draw a line and offset it basically 175 each side. Is it 175? 350? Yes. Yeah. All right. So let's just draw a line that goes from the midpoint there. Hopefully you got your midpoint on. If you haven't, shift right click, get midpoint. All right. And it goes to around about there. Okay, so we'll now offset that. Offset. 175. Enter to the left and click it again and to the right. Okay, and that middle one can go. All right. All right, we had a statement that the dashes are too small, they don't look like mine. I don't even know if mine are right. Now, the thing is, when you're in this mode, and we've seen this before in other examples, the dashes might not look like they should. As you can see here, I've got like, maybe in that area, I've got like 3-4 dashes there. Even mine are a bit smaller than what they should be. But when you come out of this, usually they come back to being what they should be like. All right, so don't stress when you're in this mode here, because they won't look right until you go out and come back in and looks all right. But the next one I draw will be wrong. So don't stress, just draw them for now. All right, so then we're going to draw one that goes from the corner there across to here, but then offset that, and then the other one goes over here, and there's a little kink here. That's a bit difficult. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so there are a few. Gonna just keep going and keep drawing stuff, but I'll do my bit as well. So a line that goes from here, well, that can go across here somewhere. Oh, look at that. Control Z. Let me just put ortho on about there, and do another one now. See how the dashes are changing, and this has got to go straight across. So shift right click perpendicular. All right, so we've got that, and then there's another line that goes from this corner here across to about there. Okay, I'm just going to do a bit of offsetting now. Just click on here, O for offset, enter, and I can do that 350 now, there, and then this one here 350, and this one here 350. We're getting there. So what's next? Is that one across, all the way across, and there's another one that goes up here. So let's do that. So line from here goes up into this area here, and there's another one that goes from the midpoint here perpendicular to there, so go perpendicular there, and another one that goes from here perpendicular to, that's come back there. Good, excellent. So go now we'll go offset and do the 350 first here, and the rest there's another 350 there. And now the next one will be 175. Just got to be careful which side. Not sure what I've done here. I'll just double check. I'm not going to use the erase command this time. Check how many it's found. It's found only one, so that means I haven't done 2 lines there. It's a way of checking for me, of finding out how many objects are there. It hasn't got the filter command like Revit has that tells you how many things easily are there. So I usually use the E for erase, and I just go over like that to double check how many entities are in that region. So I'm going to erase that, delete that. Alright, so we're forming there, except for this bit here and this here. So this one here goes from a set distance 3590 from there. So, alright, that's to the center of that actually. Or 4000 from the other way. So, okay, let's go 4000. So if I go, how do I do this? Well, I'm going to make sure I have my object snaps on and my object snap tracking on, and I'm going to go line from, and what I'll do is I'll hang here for a bit. That seems to not be working. Let me take off this selection cycling for now, but line, what's happened to my right line? Yeah, that's working. So if I go then down and type in, so I didn't click, I just hang there for a bit, and then I dropped it down. So I got 4000, enter. So that should be the center of that, and that goes all the way across to there, and we'll offset that 175 to this side, and then from here to this side, and we'll just erase that one there. Alright, so that's getting there. Now this one here has got some sort of a splay that we're going to use a chamfer for. So the chamfer here is not actually written on there, but I did check from my previous one. It's set that it's 270. Alright, so we can make it 300, doesn't matter really. Don't know who came up with 270, probably myself. Okay, so let's go with chamfer. We haven't used chamfer before really in this way, so well, maybe once. So CHA, or where else would you find chamfer on the ribbon? Where's chamfer hidden on the ribbon? Anyone know? Right behind fillet. Is that what you said? Okay. Yep. Sorry. Taylor got in before you, so she gets a prize. That's all right. Yeah. All right. Win-win. All right. So let's go. We both got to get a lolly after. It's all right. Okay. So we've got chamfer here. Did we say that? We did. All right. So let's go chamfer, and we'll go distance here. Yeah. So you got to set your distance. And the distance is going to be 270. All right, that's one direction. You've got to have 2 distances. All right, so that's how it works. It's not like fillet where you just set the radius once. All right, so you first one, and then it asks you for the second one, which luckily defaults to the 270. So you just enter. All right, so then you just select one of the lines. It doesn't matter which one at this stage because it's a symmetrical chamfer. So here and here. And is that what we got there? Yeah, and then the other side will be a chamfer again. So let's do that. CHA is a short command. Enter, and it's this one here, isn't it? See? All right. And how would we then close these lines up and bring them to meet to become a corner there? What are our options? Huh?
Isn't it just
You're going to fill it, you're going to click on the line and drag, is it? Or move? Yeah. What other ways are there? They're all good, they're all fine. One might be more efficient than the other. Yeah, fillet is probably my first choice. Dragging also works by clicking and dragging is like that there, but then I have to then also escape, click and drag this one back to there. That works. Fillet works. If I go fillet, for fillet with the radius of being 0. The radius is set to 0, so that's great. I could do this. I don't do that. I wonder if chamfer works though. Shall we try it? What if I went chamfer, enter, and I hold the shift key down and click the both lines. That also works. So basically, by holding the shift key down, it ignores the setting of the distance 1 and distance 2, and it actually sets it to be momentarily 0 and 0, which also gives you a sharp point corner. Same with the fillet. If you had a radius set, if you hold the shift key down, it makes sure that it becomes 0 as well. So, all good. Now, these bits here, we're going to trim up in here. So, so far we avoided having to trim, explode the thing. Maybe not. I'm just going to go trim, TR for trim, enter, enter. And I'm just going to click this like that. Oh, there. All right, so yeah, this one's here. Yeah, clean them up like that. Here you got to be careful because it could go to that shade, but it didn't. And here, it's working okay so far. And here and here, there, and just keep cleaning it up. No doubt you'll miss one or two, but we'll probably see it at the next session. And I'm just going, once we finish this, I'm going to have a look at this in a bit of a preview. We're going to put some notes on yet, but we've got until 5:30, so we should be all right. There and there, and here as well. Don't forget to give your drawing a bit of a save every so often. It is nice and healthy to do that. So in case it crashes. So far so good. So I didn't have to explode any of them, so I'll just escape out of that. But they are separate now. They're not actually, but they are polylines, still those little segments. But I didn't have to explode it. It doesn't matter whether you do or not. I'm going to give this a bit of a save. There you go, it's a save. All right, now let's come out of this. Let's come out of this, wherever that button is there. There is a shortcut of coming out of that, I think. What's the shortcut? If I go there, where is it? No, it's not. There's no shortcut. Is there? Oh, okay. Yeah, paper space, PS. So you can, if you're in this mode and can't find this button in a hurry, you can also go PS for paper space. Drops you back there. So, you have a question?
What were the chamfers again?
We have the chamfers. Yeah, question we have about the chamfers again. A recap. CHA is the short command, or you go to the chamfer command here. We've got D for distance, and we said the first distance 270, and the second distance the same. And then we pick one of the lines. Oh, I'm not in that mode, sorry. And then the other line, and we'll just do it. All right. I don't have any lines there, but that's how you do that. I'll just pause here for a minute, and then we're going to have a look at this sheet in preview and see what it looks like before we do any notes. Okay, what have I done here? I think I did mine 4,000, didn't I? I think this is wrong. It should be 4,040 according to our dimensions right here. So let me just double check. Did I stuff it up? Did I? Is that possible that I would have stuffed it up? I don't answer that question. Everyone is silent.
On the note it says
What? Oh, what does it say?
4,000.
Oh, is that where I got the 4,000 from?
But then on the plan it says
440.
Ah,
440.
Yeah.
that's so
Why don't
cute.
we just put it in the middle?
Yeah, why don't we put it in the middle?
So
there?
why don't we just keep it to 4,000?
Well, it doesn't matter what you
I
do.
don't have to change it.
Yeah, exactly. No, look, that's fine. Is there a contradiction somewhere, is it? Is that,
Does it matter?
where was that? No, it doesn't matter. Well, yes, it does in a way. I said Keep it to about 4,000. Yeah, 440 is over the standard, I suppose.
Okay.
Where did you see the 4,000? Which is probably where I've seen it.
It said 4 meters or.
Ah, 4 meters is maximum. Yeah. Well, yeah, there are exceptions a bit. 40 mils, all right.
Because I just followed the.
What did I do anyway? The YouTube. What YouTube from last year? Last semester.
Nothing, yeah. I found it and I was like, oh yeah.
Check you out, eh? That's why we hide things sometimes, you know. People like you, eh? That's all right. Yeah, that's fine. Well, as long as it doesn't change much, it's fine. And that bit hasn't. Look at this. Tab. Okay, from there we're going to go to perpendicular, PER shortcut. I'm single shift right clicking. It's 40 millimeters, it says. Because it's just measuring for some reason on the sheet rather than down here.
So if you were to add the extra 14 millimeters, that would change.
Yeah.
How would it change it?
Well, let's have a look. I don't know. We're about to find out. Shift right click, midpoint, there. So measuring from the center to perpendicular. Yeah, I got 4,000. Supposedly I've done it wrong, which I have. And I want to fix that. How do I fix it? All right, so I will have to move it down 40 millimeters, right? So I can do a straight move. Excuse me. Or I can do a stretch. The problem with doing a stretch is this. Although that would be a good way of doing it. Because if I move this down, it means I have to then refill it. This one's here. Yeah. So a stretch would be better. But I have to make sure I lock this layer here. And lucky I've got this layer dialog box or put down menu up in my quick access, because once you click on a hatch, it changes your menu, so it's easier than having to go back to home. I just go here and I'm going to lock the wall shade for a minute so it's not selectable, and then I'm going to do the stretch command, which is this one here, and I'm going to stretch all of this in here using the green rectangle, and I'm going to enter, and now the base point will be anywhere, and go straight down. See how it's moving as I'm moving? Okay, so straight down, 4, 0, enter. So now when dimension it should be to the center, it should be 40, 40. That's how I do it. Now just unlock, we came back to this, I can unlock the wall shade, unlock there, done. All right, how about that? So while I'm here, I'm going to PS, paper space, come out of that. And I'm going to have a look at this in preview and have a look at what we got. Give it a bit of a save there. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to go to print. I can just do print preview, plot preview. Looks like this, right? Which is the same as, basically looks the same as this here. But I think I can do one more improvement on this plan here. All right. I think I can make the outline of it a thicker continuous line so we can actually visibly see where the slab edge is. Also, I can do one more improvement possibly in here that's missing. Does anyone know what that might be? There's a couple of them actually that are missing from this plan when I think of it. Sorry? Oh, yeah, we haven't done that either. Yeah, good point. It's more than that even. Yes, I better do those, yes. I wasn't even thinking of those, but I missed them. But no, I was thinking about the set down. So when you, not the set down, the rebate. So I don't know if you've done anything in construction, how timber frame brick veneer works. So there's about a 30 millimeter rebate, a lowering of the footing there. So easy to do that. And then we're going to get onto the post for sure, yes. They're 600 by 600, the pads. So let's go with this. I'm going to offset this line here, offset this 110. Those of you that have watched the videos from last year, last semester, probably that's not on there. So
No,
this,
it's not.
you get caught out now. Okay. So anyway, it doesn't matter, but just showing you a bit of an improvement. So there's my rebate automatically. That polyline has been a saver around there. So that's there. Or there, that 100. Sorry, I'm wrong. It's not 110. It's 160. My apologies. The rebate, we just go offset 160. 160. Why is it 160?
Air gap and
Mm.
air gap and brick.
Sorry, the air gap, the cavity plus the brickwork. So all that's allowed to set down. I'm not prepared enough to have a detail to show you at this point. But anyway, just a minute. Go back. So yeah, so that's the rebate. And now what I'm going to also do here is something else. Now, I do need to have another layer. I could have it as a slab outline, like a floor slab, for example. Or I could just be naughty and click on here and just change the settings here, which is where you should not be changing anything ever, right? So that will work as well. But I'm going to opt for the better practice, which is to create a new layer. So I'm going to go new layer, and I'm going to go with the second button in, which is to be frozen. And I'm going to, now it is a floor feature as well, I suppose, slab edge or something like that. So I could put under that, you know, nothing's really wrong. So I'm going to call it floor slab, slab edge, for example, something different. So that becomes there. Now I'm going to make that slab edge a color of any color I wish. I'm free to do anything I like. Well, I'm on the ground line. Where's the floor slab edge gone? Floor disappeared. I can't see it in a hurry. Let me just go back in.
What color do you want it? Still red?
Floor, well, yeah, any color really. Red will work, but continuous is what it's got to be. Continuous. Yeah, it can be any color. Look, I might just actually make it.
Color for the reflection of this.
Sorry?
Make it a different color.
Yes, I'm thinking that. Yes, I'm going to make it a black in my case, which is a white or whatever. Yeah. So, so I'm going to make the thickness of that to be what? 0.5 maybe. Stand out a bit. Okay. So that. Okay, that. Now I've got a forward in this viewport, so I need to also floor slab edge Thor and 0.5 line weight. See what that looks like now in preview in a minute. Floor slab edge, drop it in that. We can also just put the line weight button on temporarily just to see what we're getting at. You can see how it's going to stand out really well. So I'll take that off for now and go back to PS for paper space, and I can do my save and then my preview. So save, preview, print, plot, preview. See, so now it looks like this. It looks better, huh? All right. So we're looking at basically now we're looking at a slab level this plan basically, and at slab level we're seeing the walls, and we are seeing the slab obviously edge, and anything below the slab is dashed, which is the footings, and the post footing pads. The posts are obviously higher, so they're not dashed. So okay, so let's put those in, because time is ticking by, and we're just going to put some notes on. So let's go with now this one's here 600 by 600, and they are also on the footing. Just a footing one, yeah. So footing layer. So I'm going, they're 600 by 600, but they're central around to this. Look, the easiest way to do this, I mean, you can offset this post and change it to the layer, but you've got to offset it minus the whatever it is now, which is 90 minus the 45 millimeters, so it's 555 or something like that. Or you can do this, or you can just go, I can't be bothered with the maths, and go, here's my rectangle. I'm going to draw my rectangle anywhere. I'm going to go dimension, and I'm going to say it's 600 one way, and it's 600 the other way. There it is, and drop it there. And I'm going to move it in position. So I'm going to go, okay, I want to move this. Oh, yeah, I'll move it. And for move, and I'm going to pick it up from the, oh, you idiot, I'm going to pick it up from the, what have I done? Geometric center. And I'm going to right click, geometric center, and drop it there. So I've got one, I can copy the other. Okay. So now I can just copy this from anywhere in the corner, geometric center, whatever you want to say, but just get it over there. That's done. All right, so just one thing to watch out for when you're doing your rectangle is this. You click rectangle, and I said, the width of this thing is supposed to be 600 by 600. So the first thing you look for is a subcommand called width, and you click on that, and you change that to 600, and that stuffs everything up. All right. So the idea is not to change the width. That's the width of the line work. So AutoCAD is line weight. So AutoCAD is full of these contradictory terminologies right through it, where at one point it will call that line weight, somewhere else it's a thickness, somewhere else it's a width. All right, so don't change that. I meant the size of the footings is 600 by 600. So click somewhere first. Do not change the width. If you did, you have to go back and change it back to 0. Click, and then you're presented with the dimensions. That's the bit you got to change there. All right, so that's how you do your rectangle. All right, so let's click back. Time is running out, so let's go back and do some notes. Let's go to PS now. Paper space, here we go. Now these ones here are supposed to be dashed. I reckon.
So can you actually just
Oh no, they're not actually. They are continuous. Sorry.
with the pads for the
Yep.
post, can you just click on that and change it to dash?
Leave it. Mine is also it's continuous, so just leave it. It's fine. It's so small that it doesn't put in a dash. Now, if you really wanted to say it's below, you could do a smaller dash, like a hidden 2 or something like that, and it'd be really small. But
You just make it continuous.
you can make it continuous, but it is already continuous. So why bother changing it? I suppose it could be that you could make it continuous if you want to. It's one of those things that you could go on here and say, it's not by layer. It's definitely going to be a continuous one. It won't make a scope of difference. It still look the same visually on here. It's only it's one of those things that it's there's no real answer to it, I suppose. But you could do that. It's one of those things that you can do that. That's fine. Still looks the same. Anyway, where were we? Annotations. Okay, so let's go to annotations. So we've got to put the layer text on, because we've got also dimensions. So let's there's about three or four dimensions here. So let's do those as well. Let's do the dimensions first. Footings, dimensions layer here, and we're going to go linear, and we're going to go drop this one in first. It's going to go from here to the center of those two, as you can see there. Shift right click, meet between 2 points. So that's one point, that's the other point, that grabs the center there. And we finish off at the corner over here. Sorry, sorry, I'm thinking Revit. My apologies, guys. I'm still trying to beat Revit out of me. It's not happening. I even stopped teaching Revit for a whole year almost, and it's still what's going on. All right, let's go here. So here, and we'll go shift right click, meet there to there, and then we'll put that first one up here somewhere. We've got enough room, yeah, about there. I don't think, yeah, about there, that'll do, yeah. All right, so then the next one we're going to continue, annotate continue, and we'll put that there, and we just escape there. So, of course, they're equal, but how do we make them, say, equal? That's a good point. You can double click on the text, I think, so I did it last time. EQ. Oops. You just go, it's just EQ. So I just zoom up a bit, double click on that, and just EQ. It tends to write it at the beginning, so I don't know. It looks like it's highlighted, but it's not. But just delete it. Yeah. If you write more text, you want to make that bigger so you can wrap around or whatever. But that's sort of right. Ooh, yes, save changes. Sorry. All right, so that's that one. The next one is again, we're just learning some techniques. In this case, dimensioning. So shift right click, meet between 2 points here again, there to there. That goes there. And we got the 4040 there. And we'll continue to the other end, which is that corner there. That's 3590. So hopefully you're getting the dimensions. I have had issues before. If it doesn't quite lock in there, you might get this one saying something like 3,590,000 or something like that. In which case you need to click on here, go to your properties over here, and change that number to be 1, enter, and then it will change back to -100. It will normally say something like -1,000 or something like that. It might, I don't know. It didn't this time. Not sure where I am. But anyway, I will undo that. Unless it's broken, don't try and fix it. All right. And here, the same. We'll put that dimension on. We're going to go dimension, annotate, this one here, and there. Shift right click, meet between 2 points, there to there. Drop that, about there somewhere, and continue to the other corner there. Escape that and double click on each one, and they are the same number. Double check, obviously, before you write equal, make sure they are equal, don't just say it. Okay, they are equal, so EQ, delete, and EQ, delete, and there we go, beautiful. And that's that. The rest, well, the rest are pretty well defined by the corners, and so they can't really go wrong as to where they've got to position them. So, but there we tell him definitely that they're in the middle. That's in the middle, but this one here is not in the middle. This one has a specific dimension down according to the engineer. All right, so that's that.
Are you going to put a copy of what you're doing here up so that we can actually just make sure we replicate it?
Oh, like a recording, like am I recording it now? Yes.
When you're recording it now.
Yes. Yeah, it always goes up.
Because it's just the image. All I need is the image.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Of the image of this? What do you mean the image?
Well, you're doing stuff that's not in the.
Oh yeah, this stuff here, yeah. Well, this is what I did. Just added that extra line there so
Yeah.
far. Yeah.
All of
And
that additions, if you could just
yeah.
whack that thing up.
yeah, that's going to go up. Yep, it goes up regardless. Yeah. So that's fine. All right, so that's that. Now some annotations very quickly. Let's go to some multi-leader here. Now we've updated our multi-leader here, so hopefully things will be easy. So we're going to put in a footing and slab to engineers design. So everything is going to be to engineers design. Okay, so footing and slab. So it's just a general note, very just as a indication of how to make some notes. Now let's just change that to layer text first. There you go. So now we can go. We're going to put it. Put it there. Okay. So we're just going to go click here. Take off the ortho, so you can go at any angle. And I'm going to then pull out here with Shift key down, so I can go straight across. It saves me putting the ortho on for a minute. I'll drop it there, and I'm going to write my text, which is that. There it is, and click, and there it goes. Now maybe that's not quite right. I'll just double click in here and I'll just drag it a bit more. It's taking too many lines. I don't know, why is it doing that? Probably because I copied it from I didn't actually type it, maybe. Not sure why it's doing that, but anyway, there's another thing we've got to look at here. See how my one there is right justified, this one here is left justified. So how do we fix that? Well, if you want to fix it, some people like that. So basically, it is here. You can right click and go to paragraph alignment left. Yeah, that you can see what my problem is here. Delete that there. I don't know, maybe you can't. It really stuffs it up when you copy from PDF, doesn't it? Didn't save myself any time. I should have just typed it in. All right, so there you go. That's looking closer to that. That's fine. And another note, I'll probably put another additional note here because I didn't actually dimension this. I could say it's 270 display or whatever it might be there.
Say that you're 160 offsets, that's 10 mil out, because it's actually 150, and it's like every,
Was it 150? Yeah, stuffed up, didn't I? Yes, I keep thinking. Usually, I work with wards that are 250 in width, but this is 240. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. My apologies. What we're talking about, 110 plus 40 is 150, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got to fix this up. So I'm going to offset this back 10 millimeters. So there you go. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm no good at maths. So let's go, it's 10 millimeters. Look, 10 millimeters, I'm bound to make myself a mistake. But but then again, I got rid of that other line here. So look, I'll have to stick with that. Make sure I offset to the right side, the correct side. And I go 10, enter. And watching here, zoom right in to the right of where I am now. And I'll just delete the other one. Yeah, very correct. Thank you for picking that up. And as my colleague says often, that's why we have students to correct the lecturers. Yeah, so thank you for that. Yeah, no, that's no problem. So we've got that there. So now the next thing is to put the other note in. And the other note says footing pads to engineers design. I'm going to type that in. So footing pads. I'll just I'll do this one here. Shift key to make it horizontal. Putting past engineer design now, just make this wider. And I'm going to right click and change the justification again to left. All right, done. All I've got to do is add another leader to this and see if that works for us. If I go click on that and add a leader, it does this, which I don't really like. But anyway, let's just see what I can do with that. Okay, that I don't like about that. So how am I going to fix that up? I'm going to remove the leader, this one here, enter, and I'm just going to click on multi-leader, and I'm going to put another note there to there, and I'm going to try again. That didn't work. I'm going to put another leader there here to say there. I'm going to go shift add and escape. There's a trick for you. Okay. All right. You remember how I'll show you this again. All right. It's just something I made up on the spot. Oops. Click there. Hopefully we've got enough battery. In a minute we're not going to have enough battery. So I went multi-leader. I clicked on the middle of that there. I came across down to here. But remember, it wants me to do another bit of line. But I don't want it to do another bit of line. All right. So what I do a short line right on top of where I finished. Basically, it's a line with zero length. That's how you do it. You go Shift key, add sign. In other words, for the next point, click on top of where I was. And I could have just gone to the end point, I suppose. Oh, that didn't work. It worked the first time. Let's see. So I went there, there, and maybe I just click on top. Yeah, that worked as well. Click on top of that again, second time. And then I don't write anything. I just escape, and that stays there. It's not the orthodox way of adding multi-leaders, but it is the back to basics, how we used to do it before multi-leaders were even around. All right? And that's before version 2008. All right? Okay. Save that. And the only other thing here is we haven't got a note about displays here, so we can just add that on if you wish, because it's something that I had to dig up and work out what it was. So let's. Oh, where were we before in the annotation? By the way, where were we in the annotation? Look what's in the annotations tab, guys. Look, the revision cloud is also there in nice big image. We're learning a lot about this revision cloud. Wipeout is there as well. Lovely command, wipeout. Check it out one day. Okay, so where were we before my battery runs out? I want to just measure. Actually, I want to measure this display here. It says it's 381. How do we annotate this display here? Anyone know? Any ideas? How do we tell someone that there's a display of what? 45 degrees. How do we say that?
That is the angle.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it, I think, 380. I don't know. 380. You can dimension it. That's another way of doing it. That gets around the issue. Probably better. We could dimension it in there to there and drop that in there maybe, and then you can dimension again there to there and drop that over there. So you can do a local one there, typical. You could do it that way and put it in the right layer. Yeah, so that could work. Easier. That might be less confusion. Yeah, so that's the intent. Yeah, so you can put a node 270 by 270 display or whatever, something like that as well on the other side, but that's good enough for now. I'll save that. All right, so basically, if we preview this now, plot preview. Now you need to just upload this, and basically, if we, I'll do the plot preview, and then I'm going to show you. Oh no. Plot preview. Make sure it looks alright. Check it, triple check it, and then what you do is print it to PDF, and then you can upload it. It's not due this week; it's due next week at midnight.
But we can upload
You can upload it. Hopefully, if it's working, let me know. Because last time it didn't work. You can go down to your down here, and you can see here it's due on the 5th of October midnight, or before midnight. So there, yes, you can just click here and upload. But it says here you upload the MS Word student portfolio field with the ticks, filled in for these tasks, which is basically ticking all the tasks you've done, the PDF, and the AutoCAD file again. Regardless if I have come back to you with any feedback for the first one. All right, so hopefully I'll get that done this week. Thank you very much. You may go, and I may upload this to the Moodle right now. Thank you.
Sorry, the
Oh, there's a last minute question. Hang on, guys. Sorry, go on. Yes.
the feedback, is that
Yes.
already online or do
Yes.
you email?
If you have any feedback, I did. I assume Moodle or Learn will let you know once I give you a feedback. I did have.
Oh, so you haven't like sent it out?
I didn't actually email it to you,
Oh, okay.
so it'll be on Moodle. But I think does Moodle give you a notification? It should do. If you check, yours was done a few minutes before I came in here, so it should be on your email. All right, thank you.
Go back.